Time is form to say we were on. No, I will say somebody mentioned, I don't know who it was mentioned that we should have an FTM once a month. I'm fine with that. It just y'all can report the progress that day, but I just want to give her progress if she's making progress. Okay. The way the state looks at it, it's just not on paper. It didn't happen, so. Hello?
She does? Yeah. What color are they? What color is that?
Do you need like a notebook or something?
Now, Ms. Fritz, in the event your power goes out and you can't warm your apartment and your house up, what would your plan be?
Well, I'm not using the fireplace right now, so that would be the first thing I would do, would be to light up a fire in my fireplace.
So yeah, the fireplace is option A. What would be option B?
Call somebody for a generator.
Option C. I just need to make sure when I'm
My girlfriend Lynn, as a backup, will take us in at any point in time, 24/7 if there's an emergency.
So yeah, A is the fireplace, B, generator, C, Lynn. So it should never be a time where you, and it's -2 outside and everybody just sitting in the house cold.
Exactly.
Cool. Just make sure. Here's your medication back.
Thank you.
Ms. Fritz, can you stand in the top part from your usual spot? Do they have school today?
Yes.
Not me.
Aw, so lucky.
Definitely solve the birth certificate situation. We worked so hard.
Where is it I need to sign? At the top?
Yeah, you should be the only one at the top part in that box. That's what parents.
Tell us about that immediately.
You guys doing good? Not gonna be fighting anymore right now.
I don't know what that means.
Good?
Out of bouncy nose. Since we only work together, she's going to report for both of us because I have an IP meeting that I couldn't go and I got the court date for me.
Okay.
And I've been waiting for this IP meeting forever, so
Yeah.
I gotta be there so I won't be for it. But
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, that's why
And then you just tell the GAL that I'll see them on the 28th.
You're good at it.
There's GAL. Let me open the door for you. Let me see.
shut your doors.
Hi, come on in.
That's your wreath.
Thank you.
It's very nice. Thank you. Hello. How are you? Hi. How are you? Sorry.
Charlie, you have any questions? Well, I can only report on what I have, and that's the kids are fine the way they are.
Bless you.
I don't know the progress.
You need a tissue?
I can't.
Do you need a tissue? Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Just to get an update on what progress there is. Just to care if I can't report on progress. She's making progress. Because if she's doing all the business, I just think she's still going to be able to speak to the progress. Now, those good kids are not in therapy.
dropped off.
Oh, no. So what happened was, mom has to sign a release. She didn't sign whatever release, so my supervisor had to put in another report to Jack, because Jack, they obviously had to report to us. But mom did, she respectfully declined those services because she has children's services, totally fine. So I switched to have it record. So last week, last FTMA said that I can now request those records through the team with medical. First I was told mom just had to, sign off. She wasn't willing to sign off. Let's see whatever reports we have to speak to you. But the reason I asked up today because of the allegations that came in. I was calling you this.
She's just taking
Oh. Here's the other bag of plastic for the windows upstairs.
Yeah, so just like I said,
I just need more duct tape.
or if you get like a little stapler, that's probably better too.
Okay.
Just get like a little stapler for you. Any other questions?
You filled the stapler. You don't have to go get it. I can take care of it. Thank you.
Can you send me your report ahead of time?
Yeah. Is it,
Be careful.
November 28th at 9. Yeah.
So I'll be here probably at 8 or 8:30, so I can read our reports.
Okay.
And then, can you explain to her the program?
Yeah, so at the Children's Center, we are one of the agencies starting the therapeutic foster care program. I'm Alex, by the way. I represent the kids. I'm Abby. I'm Daryl's. Okay. So it's a voluntary program. So that people get CPS involvement or parents participate. It's voluntary up to 6 months where the child goes and stays in the therapeutic foster home. So the parent is trained in how to respond to a child appropriately. So the child will continue to receive intensive home-based services. Mom would also then be assigned her own individual parent clinician who would provide parenting support and parenting skills. And it would just be for Daryl. I'm recommending it for Daryl, so all the children would stay in the home. And Daryl would be moved to a therapeutic home for 6 months. And it's just a good, I feel like it's a good fit, just given the different aggressive behaviors I've seen, some of the increases that have happened in the past. It also would allow them a chance to transfer to a different school close to the therapeutic foster home. And mom's in agreement with it. Mom's in agreement with it, yep. The program would not work if mom was not willing to. So we're just waiting on some the documents like the birth certificate so we can enroll them in the school closer to the foster parent. Or this foster parent.
So yeah, so that's my first time ever hearing about anything like that. So I definitely want to speak to like somebody in the office, but I know you being a lawyer for the children.
This is a retreat plan.
Thank you. Okay. Gotta take off.
Are you gonna, you don't have to get report permits then or anything? Parents don't, unless it's a parent. Mom is willing to do this. I only brought it up just because with
Absolutely.
Being awards, I didn't know if there
that's
needed
the
to be
only
any
period.
sign off on from your end.
Mom's agreeing with it. I don't.
I mean, I don't know, I guess the court would.
So
I've never
she
heard
sent
of
it to
this.
me. I
It's a new program in Michigan, but it's been
if
proven
it was just her.
that it helps evidence-based in some other states. I think it started in Oregon.
I think the best part about it is because while Daryl's in the therapeutic foster home, while mom's receiving the support, she can use all the parenting skills she's training and she's learning with all the other children here in the home, and she can focus
If you
and
like.
practice with using those skills with
Wait till you're
while
a
he's
counselor.
learning the
Okay?
skills in the other home. So when he comes back, he's going to be used to the same set of skills that mom's already
That's funny.
learning at home from the therapist.
I'll figure out. She's gonna send me.
Also, I'd be able to call them 24/7 if I'm having any issues at the house, and they help walk me through stuff in real time, which I think would be helpful as well, because it prevents me from having to leave the house all the time if there's a crisis, because that's one of the biggest problems that I have if one of the children is in crisis, is having to like if one's being transported by ambulance and the police don't have enough room to take me with them, like they're asking me like what can I do with the kids and stuff like that, and that to having to take them to the hospital and all that kind of stuff, it's hard on them, and sometimes we're out of the hospital at 2 a.m. and how are we getting home, especially without car seats.
Alright, so yeah, like I said, I'll talk about it with the officers to see what they feel like. And then, like I said, just worry for the
I'll pass
children.
along the information for the contact person for our agency, and then also she's written up a letter for mom that detailed it, and I can do the same if she has that copy, the same letter, because it just does a really good outline. What program is this? It's called Therapeutic Foster Care Oregon Model, so TFCO.
Is it Oregon model?
Oh yeah, so TFCO, Therapeutic Foster Care Oregon Model.
Hey, beautiful.
I even have
Mom, please don't give me back the money.
that, and I can
Okay.
bring
And then you guys give our reports.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, so they're,
No.
Because someone's gonna have to talk to him about it.
Just the
That's fine if you guys wanted to. Yeah, if you guys want to discuss that now, that's fine.
serious.
Might as well.
Probably think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, Molly's here. Hi. Come on in.
Sorry, did you see my text that I have an intern with me today?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
This is our
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
What you got for me?
Hi, Honestly. How are you?
So, what was that? Wednesday?
Yes.
Wednesday before the holiday, Ms. Jones was here for an appointment, and the children were playing on the video games, and I had asked Daryl to take the garbage out before she arrived, actually. And so for the third time I was asking him, take the garbage out, please. He refused. He said he wasn't going to. I then removed the Wii. And so then he took my phone and ran off in the back and got on my phone to play games or watch something. And so then I took the phone. I asked him one more time to change the garbage. He declined again. So I went and I took the garbage out myself. And while I was outside, apparently he was... Do you want to take it from here?
Well, yeah, from my perception, I came over to assist her with reapplying for cash assistance. So when I was sitting here, she repeatedly asked Daryl to take out the trash. Daryl was ignoring her. So then I was telling her how to use parent management techniques to do it. So she came out here and asked him to do it. She asked him again. She said, "Can you take the trash out, please?" And then she unplugged the TV. So he got mad. I didn't realize he took your phone, but she saw that.
I didn't realize it either, so...
So he got mad and walked in the back. Again with her phone. And so he got mad and walked in the back. And so we kept talking, and then she just took the trash out herself. When she took the trash out, she was only gone for maybe like 5 seconds. And during that time, he was at Chance.
Yeah.
He attacked Chance on the couch. They kind of started fighting. He punched him. And so then she came back in. I told her what happened. And so she started talking to him about it. And they kind of telling him to go take a timeout. He got mad and started acting like he wanted to get back at Chance. But she didn't really strain him. She was kind of pushing, holding him back. And then she told him to go sit back on the couch. And then he went upstairs one of the ways. It happened kind of fast. And so he went back upstairs. And then we sat back here talking. Maybe about 10 or 15 minutes later, he came back downstairs with it was like a letter opener.
A letter opener.
Like a letter opener, like a wooden knife to his neck. He didn't hurt himself. He did it for attention. Then mom got up to take it out of his hand. He threw it down. And then he came over here and fell asleep on the couch. It was kind of like maybe he basically went into a crisis. After that, I called my supervisor and his therapist.
And Molly came over?
Yeah, she came over and we talked about it and debriefed. And then
I did call the crisis number, and they did tell me that because he was sleeping, to just call back if he was violent again in the future. And they have like a team that will come out and handle the situation like as soon as they can reach the house.
Okay.
So
we're just making you aware that happened. But mom did take steps to handle the situation. And I didn't leave her until the situation, was calm and de-escalated.
Alright, that's cool. It sounds like she handled it.
She did.
I did the best I could. Ms. Jones had said to me that she was stressing the importance of being willing to call the police when there's a situation like that where I feel like one of the kids might be hurting another child and won't stop. And my response to her was that every time, if I was to call the police on a regular basis when they're being violent with each other, as brothers do, then I would have the cops at my house on a regular basis, and which would also bring more reports into CPS, obviously and automatically. So I didn't feel that that was the best course of action to take. So I guess my question is to you guys, what do you feel is the proper response in that kind of situation? Do you feel that calling the crisis line was sufficient? Do you feel like I should be contacting the police on a regular basis in regards to their, because to me it's sibling rivalry, and you know, a lot of kids do it back and forth, but
I guess it just depends, because if you were able to rectify the situation where everybody calmed down and the crisis center was like, okay, that's fine. However, say it is to the point where you can't manage their behaviors, then you should call the police. Even if it gives you a CPS case, when we investigate, we'll say, what steps did you take? You say, hey, I called the police, I called the crisis center, you already seen what you've done to rectify the issue. But the police there that night is to make sure that they don't go to the point where somebody really gets really hurt. Because you don't want to say, okay, I called the crisis center, Daryl fell asleep, or Daryl, they still arguing, I'm just waiting on them, but then something happens, and
Right.
it's just you.
right.
So, crisis center, if you feel like they calm down, it's totally
Okay.
fine. But if you feel like it's still escalating, call the police. Whether
Okay.
you get a case or not. 'Cause say if you don't call the police and something happens.
That was
you get a
basically
case.
what she was saying.
So,
And I'm like, well, I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't, because if I don't do anything, CPS could show up, and if I do something, CPS could show up.
well,
So
when we show up, it's not always a bad thing. I know you think that.
it's a bad thing
But
that
it's
it's
not.
got me on a central registry. You know, that limits my job options as well.
I got you.
So,
Yeah.
Are you eating there, Daryl?
and there's nothing I can do about that
Daryl, why don't you say
until the case is closed, and then apply for expungement if it's possible.
I understand what you're saying. So, yeah, call the crisis center, call the police. Sometimes you gotta call the police first, then the crisis center. You just gotta gauge on what's going on at a particular time. If he coming down with the letterman and he won't, stop with the letterman or the letterman or whatever, you have to call the police so that they can get here. You try to kind of diffuse the situation until they come through the door and do whatever they need to do. And then afterwards, the crisis center just to figure out what needs to happen so that he doesn't do it while you're asleep. So just use the better judgment. But the police is not doing it.
They can help de-escalate, they can be extra hands, and then when CPS will be notified, but then they have to do a separate investigation for every call.
Yeah.
So they're gonna investigate that whole process that went down and every step that you took.
So if you get another call, it might be in regards to that.
Well, that's why we felt like it was best that it's your story that you tell it, because when information has to come from one of us, because we're all mandated reporters.
Yeah.
That's why we wanted you.
Well,
to
it's
tell
so
your
easy
story.
for somebody to just come in and take a snapshot of my life and just make assumptions based off of that. And it's a lot harder to actually read what's in the file and go out of your way to like understand everything else that's going on that gives that incident context. Because, you know, things like crayon and marker on the walls being in a petition, or, you know, just certain things that are going to happen in a regular home with kids running all over the place shouldn't be considered issues. And, you know, I feel like I'm on the defensive and I have no privacy in my own home.
Well, I will say this.
And that messes with my anxiety. That makes me feel depressed. That puts me on edge, and which just adds to my feeling of paralyzation. That, like, what can I do?
So let me just add this part. So I don't know how the previous workers work, but if you get a CPS investigation and I'm your worker, and it should be like that, we may get a snapshot. Say if the mandated reporter has to call something in, and I come out there. If you don't allow me to investigate, like I can't, it says I just gotta go off the snapshot I got. If you allow me to actually investigate, I may say, okay, the snapshot is this, but the steps to get to the snapshot is appropriate. So then your case is closed. When we have parents that don't cooperate, you can only go off what we're given. If that makes sense.
Well, if there's steady calls coming in all the time, I don't see how it matters either way.
We've had about
It just
5 or
makes
6
me look bad.
Since I've had it, and I think I only substantiated it once because in the other ones there was nothing I could find that you did wrong.
Well, and the one time that you were actually leaving after you just walked through the house and saw everything, then that was when that new report had come in, and you called me up, and you brought back a drug test. I passed the drug test, no problem.
Yeah, but I was able to see that because you allowed me to come back into the home and investigate.
Because I don't have any choice.
No, you can. I mean, you can say it like you said in the past, but you know, that's just my advice, as long as we're able to investigate, we should be able to reasonably say this is appropriate or this is inappropriate.
There's no imminent danger in my home.
Huh?
There is no imminent danger to these children in my home.
Well, I can't see any imminent danger now. I'm not saying that they saw imminent danger in the past.
What is
I wasn't the worker,
this?
so
Is it
we can only move forward, and that's why I say I want to report your progress moving forward. Okay? Anybody
I
have any
see
questions for me?
blue and yellow mix.
Thanks everybody for showing up on short notice.
Do you have any questions for me?
I know.
No, I did say that I need to,
You did great. This was amazing. Mama knows this is overwhelming. There's a lot of people right now. But you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You're just being the mom. You're the mom. There's nothing else one else can expect from you. But you're doing great. You pat yourself on the back. You have to take those successes. You're doing exactly what you should do. I mean,
no, this one is
it was chaotic when everyone came here.
Well, that's something that he mentioned in court is it's
Their
chaotic.
kids. Their kids and your parents.
Yeah.
Four of them is one of you.
Yeah.
You're going to be outnumbered sometimes, but you did great today.
Thank you.
To,
Let me walk you out.
yeah, I was trying to look to,
But normally, I think the last one we did,
and I'm always,
I was available.
they're about to stay because they have therapy and it has to finish up. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I didn't cancel my 4:15 just in case. I didn't know how long this was going to take. So, we will see you,
Any questions for me?
next
It's at
Wednesday
9 o'clock.
at our regular 1 o'clock, because I won't be in court unless you need to meet before then. Okay, if you, after court goes, you say, hey, you know, I really want to talk to you while this is fresh on my head. I do have some time on Thursday. So just give me a call.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
You good with that?
Yeah.
All right.
The other one's broke too. It's still
Thank
usable.
you.
Well, this is black.
Yeah.
How did you get black? How did you get black?
There was one just like this, but it was black and it was broken.
Thank you, sweetheart. Have a good day.
So welcome.
Drive safe. Everybody warming up?
There it is.
Okay.
I could crank it up higher if anybody's feeling cold.
I was gonna ask Mom if she has any issues or concerns or anything she wants to get
The only issue that I have is that my kids are not in imminent danger and this case is still open. That is the only issue that I have. I have an issue with the FTBS worker. She never gave me any passes. They got requirements for me to do all this stuff, but I can't get a monthly bus pass or even some passes to get the kids to counseling. She said that she needed to talk to her supervisor first, and if they don't get me a monthly pass by the second week, it's kind of a waste of the state's money to even purchase one. So they kind of just like need to be on top of that.
So I know we brought up in court, or at least I think I did, therapy being together for the kids or doing it in the home. Is that not? I know
The
you're
problem
here,
is-
but I think you only work with Honesty, right?
Honesty
Or
is
no?
my only client, but my type of therapy, I work with mom to like help the whole family as a whole, because that helps Honesty.
And I'm Daryl's therapist. Okay. And I also I'm
do it.
sorry, it's gonna take me a while to
It's all
learn
good.
everyone.
It's all good.
Okay. So,
What's difficult is the Chance and Julius don't meet the.
I remember
Does
having-
Julius? Chance didn't. Chance's score was too low.
I think they both probably would know.
I think they could if we went to
They
the
could
second
if
one
they
again. I just went off because I think the court said that
The court, Ms. Killups had a counselor assigned for Julius, and I was going to take Chance in. I missed Chance's intake appointment because the bus showed up a half hour late, and by the time I got up there, they said, sorry, you can't do that, and I was like, come on. But so Julius's counselor showed up twice. That was supposed to be for family counseling, for my individual counseling, and for his counseling. And that was court-ordered 12 sessions, and she just stopped showing up and stopped calling. So I don't know whatever happened to that. I don't know why it wasn't followed up on by the court. And I know Ms. Killups, the case was transferred and all that. So the biggest thing for me is if they're sending agents in, whether it's FTBS or it's a counselor, or they're assigning something to me that I can't get to, or that doesn't offer, or that I don't have any bus passes or daycare, then I can't fulfill the court's orders if I don't have the tools necessary and resources in order to do that. It's not possible. So, and I'm totally willing to do Chance and Julius with Children's Center, whether I have to take them there or whether it's in home. What I'm not willing to do is to go with Mr. Flynn's recommendation that I cut everything off as it stands and start fresh with court-ordered stuff when I've already been with counseling with Children's Center for a year. Me and Molly are in the middle of parenting classes, and I am dragging my feet. I'm taking a long time because I really want to get everything. I want to learn everything, and then there's side conversations. I'm still trying to seek out the right kind of therapy for getting raped. I mean, I'm on sleeping meds right now, so I don't have nightmares. I've had issues with cash assistance. Even though my psychiatrist got the form and everything, then the worker said I have to reapply because I didn't do it right. They wanted me to go to this pathway thing at Work First, but I didn't have anybody to watch Honesty. So, and I like, when I'm busing places and it takes me hours on the bus, I only have a small window of time to get things finished before my kids get out of school. So I have to have everything wrapped up pretty much by 1 o'clock in order to be home for them at 2:30. And they don't have latchkey, but it's like I said to you last time, the lady's recommending that I ship them across town to go to a different school, but the school's across the street and I don't have a license. It doesn't make any sense to, and then, you know, like my son sneaking out of the house, going over the next block over on Calvert and getting hit by a car, but then the DHS workers asking me if the children can walk all the way up to Davison where there's a freeway to go to a latchkey program a mile up the road, my 3 sons, so that they can do an after-school program so that I can go to Work First. It's not, I would never send my children 1 mile up the road to Davison, and I would hope that if somebody saw me doing that they would call CPS on me, because to me that's neglect.
Which child was hit by the car?
Daryl, the oldest.
Is he okay?
He's okay, yeah. He's lucky. He had a concussion and he had some scrapes on his face. So, you know, and that puts me even more fear in me, because if I can't trust them on the next block over, how am I supposed to trust, you know, or even how the case was opened to begin with, which is I sent them to school and they didn't go in the building. You know, if I can't trust to send them across the street, how are they supposed to walk all by themselves while I'm way across town somewhere? And then what? They get found on the side of the road because somebody hit them, or whatever that looks like. You know.
There's a lot being asked of you, and it's always more complex than it sounds.
Right.
Of how to make it happen.
And everybody just says
But
this stuff
you're-
like, go pick up a loaf of bread, and it's just totally way out of that league.
Yeah, but you were saying you're willing to get both Julius and Chance
I am.
the therapy that they need.
Right.
And,
Julius,
think-
change the black.
I agree. Like, I think our whole team agrees that if they go through intake again, that their scores will qualify them all to be in the home.
I think my brief
I need a
assessment would
black.
be Julius for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Julius,
Chance,
yes.
Chance is more, I can't
Yeah.
say for sure.
I was a little surprised Chance's score was low enough to not
Maybe
qualify.
now, I mean, given like great, like school, you know, taking him to school consideration as
Chance
well.
is actually doing better in school.
So he might be
So
more.
that's-
might
he got
be-
Those are all
good
good
grades.
things, right? Like,
They're all good
not
things. But yeah, that's the problem with campus is we're not looking.
You know,
at
something
that.
else too is I have trouble getting documents to places they need to be, you know, and like I gave her Daryl's report card the other day because I said, you know, if you can put it in your system as a document for this requirement for this program, then it's not floating around in my house where the kids have access to it, and I don't have to go miles out of my way on the bus with the kids in order to get a fax sent out. Just stuff like that. It's like a mountain and I can't see the top of it. So, yeah.
I understand that. We've had this conversation before.
Well, it's like you said in court that you think that without any further resources for daycare and transportation, like what else can I do? And I agree with you. Absolutely.
I will say Mom is using our team as a support.
Another blister pack.
Very open.
You want another one? Okay.
So I also have to take off
Okay.
now.
Alright.
15. Is there any
Thank you.
questions?
So far, probably when I read that, I don't, you know, again, I don't get
No.
reports ahead of time. I don't get, that's why I said to Mr. Flynn, can you please send me your stuff ahead of time so I can look at it and know
Well, he didn't also spell it out to me that because they're wards of the court doesn't mean that he can just access whatever he wants. Because I wasn't aware of that.
Was that talked about earlier?
That was
I mean,
talked about
that's
at
what
the
he said to
FTM,
me,
yeah.
and I came in and
Mhm.
said, what's the plan?
And he said because they're wards of the court.
Because he can't get access to certain things. I don't know, records, I don't know.
I will be clarified on Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right.
45.
Is there anything else you want me to know?
I'm doing everything I can.
I wanted to stay on to go over the report with you
Okay.
to see what you want me to present to court.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Sorry about the recording stuff. I just feel like I have to cover myself.
I need